forever for these things to fit.
What did you have to? Did you have to like clip them or something, or what? How are you? Did you have to
Almost
like?
had to lose about half of the length.
Oh wow.
They're Halloween fangs, so they're kind of cheap. It's just one of those things. They're
Yeah.
not elegant. I'm gonna have to invest in something that's a little bit better. But I figured, what's how many times do I run World of Darkness without fangs? That's just that's just dishonest.
You know, November 1st and 2nd are often the best days to go get some leftover Halloween stuff because all the stores just want to blow it out and get it done so that they can start getting other stuff up there too. You can find some really good deals on hats and costumes and whatnot, fangs and such. See, but what this means now is that if Jade were an anime girl, she's the one who always has the fang. Like when she smiles, she's a fang. And oh no, you know what? It's actually Fluffy that have antenna hair because she has a cricket in her head. But
That's right.
All right.
It just has horns.
He just has what? Oh, horns. Yeah, yeah.
Horns.
All right. So where we had left off, a miner burst in on this otherwise joyous occasion and said, "Look, there has been an avalanche. It has blocked in the mine, and Jeroff, one of your grandchildren, Kencord, was in the mine. Obviously, there's others, but this is personal. And so he ran all the way here in order to warn the family and see if anyone can help clear the mines to free the people who are inside." DJ Delta. So Jade has two. I know in anime you only ever see the one, like with a sly smile.
Unless they're vampires.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
rock paper
I should
fireball.
just keep one in.
That depends if you want to be a cute anime girl who has the one fang. All right. You all seemed like you wanted to go, and Jade, Jeroff gave you a solemn message that this isn't just something you can rush into, despite your best intentions. Even he had a pragmatic view about going into a mine, even though his own grandchild is at stake, because there's the chance that he'll lose a lot of you, and in your own unique Jade method, you conveyed that information to Bright, and shortly thereafter, Mordecai was able to fetch Celine, and these two were to come down too.
Yes.
Do you wish to go fetch Tazray?
We could fetch Tazray, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'm actually a little bit worried about that for the simple fact of there's been an avalanche, and you're asking us if you want to go fetch Tazray, and I'm thinking that Tazray might get.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We get Tazray.
Yeah.
Tazray
Yeah,
Tazray shows that he breathes cold. He is resistant to cold stuff, and he has a strong back.
It's true. We
Um,
need him.
Yeah, but a couple tons of snowstorm? Let's see.
well, there's other people who are presumably there helping. But it is up to you in meta or in character. If you don't want him, you don't have to get him. But he is back shoveling snow with Tibba, and bear in mind, what would you like to do with Tibba in any circumstance as well?
I don't want to bring Tibet to the avalanche rescue. I think that's too dangerous. But I also
Very
don't.
dangerous.
I don't know if it's safe to leave him alone in the inn either. It could
No.
be. So I don't know what to do. Maybe we can get someone from the avalanche family to come with someone who's not going to help in the avalanche rescue, and have them look after Tibba, and then we can just trade. We'll trade them for Taz and take Taz with us, I guess, to the place. the avalanche is. If it's not too far out of the way, I don't know the geography around here. I don't know where the quarry is, or where the hotel is, or where I am. I'm totally lost.
We also
It's
barely
so
know these people.
That's true, but I mean, we know Jeroff pretty well, and I think it's his family, so maybe he could recommend someone.
To wait, to recommend someone to you that can watch over Tibba?
To watch Tibba while we take Taz
Oh.
up to the quarry.
I suppose if anyone. Not that my family can't, but I think there's going to be many of us who are going to be going to try and help our kin. Though, if anyone around here is the matron to many others, it would be Gintilly. It's hard to miss her.
We know Gintilly. She's my friend.
Yeah, we can take her. We don't necessarily have to take Taz with us. If that would be helpful.
I don't know if Gintilly's a fighter. She might be a digger. Maybe we need diggers too. Maybe we can get both Gintilly and Lycup, and they could rescue.
Did I misunderstand? I thought who could babysit Tibba if you took Taz.
But I mean, we need someone to babysit Tibba. But the suggestion was that maybe Gintilly would be useful in the rescue efforts. She is a good digger.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, Gintilly would still be offered, and her daughter Lycup. Apparently Jeroff and the Avalanches know their dwarven neighbors rather well.
With the things that have happened around Tibba so far, I think it's best to leave Tazray. He's the most capable fighter. If worse comes to worse and Tibba's in trouble.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then we should at least take Gintilly with us. I don't know if she. I don't. I mean, I know she's probably good at the snow digging, but I don't know if she can fight. We could ask. It didn't come up. We talked,
Well,
but I wasn't thinking about fighting at
how
the
much?
time.
Yeah, how much did we really expect to be fighting?
Oh, a lot.
Depending on what's inside.
We don't know.
No,
So-
because Jeroff told Jade, and Jade kind of gave me we have this thing that we can do, and it was pretty scary. And I didn't get good feelings when I woke up this morning, so it's going to be more dangerous than usual, and I think we need all the help we can get. I don't know. I don't want to risk Foxy, but I also want to make sure that we have everything we can do with the.
Yeah, if the hotel's not on the way, then we're just risking those people being trapped in that avalanche even longer.
How is the geography? Do we know?
Yeah, so it's you're in very hilly, rocky territory, and you're going to be going up partially a mountainside into a mine that goes beneath the mountain itself.
But is the hotel on the way, or is it not?
I'm sorry. No, the hotel would not be along the way. So instead of taking the hypotenuse to get to the mine from the residential section of town here, you'd be going back into town proper, fetching or doing whatever you're gonna do, equipping whatever else, and then you'd be going up to the mountain.
Let's see if let's talk to Gintilly. Let's see if we can find her and ask her what she wants to do, because let's see if she's helpful.
Yeah. Good thought.
All right. So you all are leaving to go to the dwarven neighbor's house here. You want to go speak to Gintilly and her daughter Lycup.
Yes.
As you approach the dwarven residence, which is built in a similar fashion to everyone else here, they do want to try and blend in and not just live in a big old pile of rocks. The smell of food is I mean, if you thought it was overwhelming here in this very busy house, Gintilly is she's a master chef, and the just pouring out of the house is some steam, and it's scented and aromatic. Knock on the door, and her daughter Lycup opens, and sees you first, Bright, because you're both kind of on the same level. And oh, welcome. What can I be doing for you?
There's an emergency. One of the avalanches, Mr. Kencord, is trapped in an avalanche with like an actual avalanche with other people maybe, and we need people who can help us dig them out. And I'm not very good at digging. Most of us aren't very good at digging, but we thought you might be good at digging, and also there might be fighting.
Well, I suppose you could say I'm good at digging. It sort of comes with my background.
That's what we were hoping. Do you know how to fight? Can your mom fight? Do you know anyone who can fight?
Well, growing up in a mining community, you do get into a tumble now and again. As for fighting, I don't know if I'm the best of the fighters, but I do mine. I have worked in the mines before.
I think that's the more important skill.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Jade seemed to think it was going to be really dangerous, and there was going to be poisons, which I bet Lycup can handle that because she knows her way around a mine. But there were monsters too. It was very scary.
Oh, well, the poisons, yeah. It's something that we dwarves are very good at handling.
Well, why don't you come along? And anyone else that you think you could bring that would be helpful? Would you be willing to do that for us?
Gintilli pokes her head out of the kitchen and looks at her daughter, looks over at you, and just sort of gives you like a quiet, like a thumbs up, like, yeah, take her.
So, why don't you come along then? And I guess your mom doesn't want to come, and I guess that's okay. So let's come along.
Oh, well, my mom, no, she wouldn't want to come. If there's going to be a trouble, then she's going to want to cook for everyone.
Your voice cut out. You didn't hear that.
Oh. Yeah, my mother won't want to come. If there's going to be trouble, she'll want to cook for everyone.
It did it again.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to hear this one. But she doesn't want to come is the gist I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the excuse. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why it conveniently cut out at those times.
Well, any information that you have about the dangers that we're going to face would be invaluable.
I suppose I could give you some. Yeah, I need. I'll be needing some time to get my things.
Mm.
Okay. Hopefully not too much time, because we're in a rush.
Well, I'll try not to take too long. If one of you would like to help Bright, you can come into my room.
Okay, I'll help. I'm happy to help.
All right, so you go in and you are helping Lycup, get dressed, get out of her. She's in some generic work clothes because she was shoveling, but she gets into a mining outfit. It's leather with some padding. She has a helmet. She has sort of a mining kit, and she gives Bright, was it?
That's me.
Have you swung a pick before?
I don't know anything about picks. I swung a pen, but I'm not. I don't do physical labor very much. I'm not good at that.
Oh, well, it shows. No offensive meaning. Here,
Okay.
you can hold this, and I have some spare equipment I can give to you or the others. Some of my stuff might fit you, but others might not. We dwarves are a little thicker than you.
It's gonna be really loose on me, and it's gonna be just the wrong shape for the others. But I guess we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, that's good. We'll do what we can. All right. I believe I have what is needed to have. Let's get going. You come out of a room. Mother, I'm going to the mines. I'll be back as soon as I can. Hopefully we can help out with what's happening. And the mother is absolutely bring back every little tidbit. Let me know exactly what's happened. Of course, be careful, stay safe, watch over your friends. Make sure, make sure this or that. And Mordecai, the mother, you're picking up the mother is hinting that perhaps, like, she's talking her daughter up, but she's glancing up at you as she's saying some rather flattering things about her daughter, and she gives you a bit of a wink. And before you leave, she gives each of you like some sort of a meal that's contained in what would otherwise be like a bandana scarf to wear, to keep the sweat off your brow and such. So she gives you each sort of like a miner's lunch.
All right. Food is always good. Extra rations is always good.
Yes.
As you are leaving from the avalanche house itself, you are hearing some cheers coming from the house. Perhaps some sort of good news is occurring. And out on this section here where they hang clothes or maybe meats to dry and such, there is a member of the family who has a very large horn of some kind. Not like an alpine horn, but definitely more than more than a trumpet. And you hear a boop boo, boop boo, and he shouts that the child is born. The child is born. And accompanying this proclamation, which seems to be done in some kind of a cultural standard fare, as he's able to do it seamlessly, and it doesn't seem improvised. He doesn't seem hesitant. And others who are out shoveling or getting ready to go to the mountains themselves take a moment to look at the eaves of the avalanche home. And by the way, this is where I am invoking. This is where I'm invoking DJ Delta's Fickle God request, which, remember, can be either for or against you all as a roleplay challenge or a mechanical challenge, or for or against me as your DM as a mechanical challenge or a roleplay challenge. And so I have been tasked by DJ Delta, upon the birth of the child, to yodel. And so,
okay.
And so, I will do my best. I did not watch a yodel video during our break, and so this is off the top of my head. I will be doing my best to yodel at least briefly in order to fulfill our Fickle God's request, because it's not just you all as the PCs that are puppets at the strings of our gods here. In all fairness, I too must be put on the hot seat every now and again. So it's sort of like a yodeling. Boy, this is a really throaty sound too, because you have to strain your voice. Yodel, 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 and the yodel echoes throughout the snowy mountain range, proclaiming that a new member of the Avalanche family is born, and hopefully we won't lose a member of the Avalanche family to, ironically, an avalanche itself. Rock, Paper, Fireball says, clip that yodel! Yodel, 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 hee hee. There you go, DJ. I hope that was an adequate yodel for you. I hope everyone enjoyed my favor, he says. The yodeling I think I can do, but I'm not quite at the level to get that sort of like Tibetan throat singing. So at least hold off on that a little bit, my fickle gods. Yeah, and the yodel triggers another avalanche as Rock, Paper, Fireball. What a twist! Alrighty.
At the note of the birth of the child, the yodeling, going out across the veil, and it ends up catching Jade's attention. You can see a bittersweet smile on her face. Only thing she can think right now is, goodbye, old friend.
Do we have a tear?
Trying not to right now, truthfully.
Okay. All right. So you, along with Lycup, Gentili's daughter, are and with this other miner who said that he would guide you, you go back to the Avalanche house. He meets you. There's some congratulations, and so forth. And you all set off towards the mountains, leaving. Right, you're going straight to the mountains, or were you going to let Tazray know that you're going to do something? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I think we kind of decided to leave Tazray guarding Tiba.
Okay.
Yeah, Tazray's guarding Tipper.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you're then going to take the hypotenuse right to the mines.
Just a quick question to
Yes.
everyone: Do we have a way to let him know that we're going up the mountain?
No, I don't have any spell like that unless Jade has one.
Nothing like that. Though I am curious, do we have any intention on stopping for provisions before we do so?
Got miner's lunch, so I think we have enough.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
they'll have actual cleaning gear up there. As spells, not particularly, but we could stop by the tumbled lunch before we go up there and let him know.
That's the long way.
If we stop him with, right? I mean, that was the whole thing, is that we wanted to save time. But I'm not sure we're saving any time because we're spending so much time talking about it.
I'm assuming we're walking and talking. So
Okay.
we could just go. No one has a way to tell him.
Yeah. I mean, if we all die in an avalanche, if rocks fall and everyone dies, well, I mean, at least Tazray will survive.
This is true.
Yeah, suddenly it's the Tazray and Tiba show.
Alright. Well,
Oh boy.
off we go then.
Well,
All right, so you take off, and the going is a little difficult, Bright, especially for you, since you're naturally a little slower than the others, and the fact that the terrain is so rocky, icy, snowy, isn't helping too much.
Bringing us on horses or donkeys or something.
Well, he ran down. He can try and find something for you, but he came straight from the mining area itself to come and deliver the message.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Okay. So you're kind of stumbling along through, and pardon, had some soda. Lycup is watching you as you're going through. Oh, here, let me carry you. I can hold you. It's not like I'll be moving much faster myself, with these short legs and all.
Okay, I don't mind. It'll be fun.
Very well. Sit on my backpack. Use it as a saddle.
Okay.
All right. So she stops and you hop up, and she has this minor backpack, and if you need, you can hold on to my helmet, and
Okay.
and so you're now trudging along. She's not slowed by you. She's powering through the snow and the rocks like a dwarf do. And you're on Dwarfback, going through the mountains.
Dwarfback is the best way to travel.
And and then of course you have your cricket friend, I presume, is still hiding in your hair somewhere too. Peggy Sue, correct? It was Peggy Sue?
That's correct.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So trudge, 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 crunch, crunch, crunch. The clouds as you are approaching the mountain are beginning to thicken. And are any of you proficient in knowledge nature?
In nature.
Nope.
Is Celine, if you got it, you can roll it.
Nope. 0.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted to give first dibs to characters who might have a proficiency. If not, then I would accept as a secondary, if not nature, perhaps arcane could work.
I have Arcana.
So do I.
I have that.
Knowledge. All right. Well then, one of you can roll it at advantage because we have a lot of smarty pants in the group.
Let me do it.
I'll let Bright roll it because she's the smartest.
Hey, look at that. Okay, so Bright, unburdened with such menial physical tasks, such as having to walk.
Walking.
Yes. Walking is at this point literally beneath you, as you're riding on the back of a dwarf. You're watching the patterns in the sky, and you're noticing that the clouds, they're not unnatural, though the clouds are perhaps with their movements supernatural. They are. The way that the clouds are moving seems off in some form or fashion here to you. And throwing in, I mean, you did very well here. So intelligence is also an intelligent, or investigation is also an intelligence-based skill. You're thinking, you're worrying in your brain here, and The man at the inn you talked to did say that this does seem unseasonable, not unheard of, but it would normally be unseasonable. The clouds look like there could be a magical influence over them, and in thinking back to the hot springs, the pixies, as part of their rhyme before they got out of there, mentioned something about going back to the mountain.
Yes. Yeah, they did.
So
This might be done.
So well, if Bright, if you want to, you can explain it how you will. But this is what your brain is giving.
How I said how pixies like to make trouble, and it's supposed to be a joke, but kind of like how sometimes when gnomes play jokes, it's not as funny for the other people, especially rock gnomes, because they're not as fun as forest gnomes, I think. But sometimes with pixies, it happens the same way, and I don't know that they would intentionally hurt anybody. That doesn't really seem like a pixie thing to do, but they might mess with the weather. That's maybe a pixie thing. I don't know. It could still be them, because they did say that they were going up into the mountains, and now we're going up into the mountains, and we might meet them there. I don't know.
That's unsettling.
They said they didn't like you, and that makes me sad.
That's concerning. Is that they would create some kind of weather phenomenon just to get at somebody they don't like.
No, they might, but since you didn't do anything to them, so
No.
I don't know why they would do that. But I don't know. I didn't have very good dreams last night. Not like they were really scary. It was more like I just didn't get a very clear picture of things. So I can't help you this time.
We'll have to be on guard about that then. Not a big fan of pixies if they're gonna start picking fights about me.
Oh, we don't know that.
You do have
but
the devil in you.
but well,
That's a racial stereotype, and I'm not sure I like that.
It's a fact. You and I both know that.
I didn't choose to be born.
Remember how I said we need to be nice to each other? This is what I was talking about right here.
It's
Let's-
no more different
No,
than
it's
if
fine.
I were to say Bright is short. She is
Very short.
clearly short. That is
I'm
not
short.
offensive, that is fact.
No, but I don't know. Either way, any way you look at it,
Hey there, Blue Boy. You got to be able to take a joke if you're in the mines. You'll hear colorful language from the boys there. Not saying it has to be said, but you'll have to have a tougher skin if you're a miner.
oh no, I definitely know a good joke when I see one.
Well, it is very tough for not just your kind, but also mine. All the jokes about being a short stack. Hey, how's the weather down there? Pardon Bright. I'm sure you get even more. You are lower down the hill, and of course there are things that roll downhill I won't mention.
It's okay. I don't mind the jokes. I like them. Because then, see, if somebody tells you a joke, it doesn't really matter if you like it or not because it gives you the right to tell them a joke. So you still come out ahead.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of that. Normally, I just roll with the comments. Although I will say it must be a mercy. You're a very light woman. You're not as round as I, if you get what I'm meaning. Many of the men tend to focus on the things midway down.
Kiki.
Oh, I get enough attention. Sometimes I don't want it, but it's okay. But I do only weigh 40 pounds, and then I'm carrying about 15 pounds of gear. So it's probably not even as much as you usually carry to work.
No, not at all. You're a very slight woman.
But Celine, at the mention of how's the weather down there, kind of turns because, she's a half elf, and half elves are relatively tall. They're taller than your average human, especially her. And she turns around and says, like, "Trust me, sometimes I get how's the weather up there type of jokes, and you know what I do? If they're a friend, I'll just laugh it off. But I've had a couple of unsolicited jokes like that, and what I do is I spit on them from up here, and I go, 'It's raining.'"
Mordecai's apparently tickled by that. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh,
wow.
snap.
Oh, giant host.
Yeah, no, Journeyman.
Journeyman.
Hosting the stream for 95 viewers.
Wow. Well, sometimes too, you gotta watch when you say welcome, because have you all noticed, especially lately, there's been a ton of ads playing through Twitch when people, if you switch channels or whatever. But so I'm always cautious because when you see so and so hosted and you're like, yeah, thanks, hey everyone for coming by and da 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 da, and they're probably still in an ad and you just you blew all your steam while they're not able to see and hear you. So all right, so there's Barbarian Jim. He probably came over with a raid. Journeyman, J-Man, are you out there? Can you raiders hear me? Are you past the gate of the ads? Hey, there he is. All right. Ola, yes, J-Man does indeed suck. Everyone, Creative Creature Carla. Well, we have a Coffee Cat Comics.
Carla.
This is I can't process 2 Tri-Cs. Hey, Risky Luke, good to see you.
No.
Hey, Death by Mage, thank you very much for that follow. And by the way, for everyone out there, well, a lot of you came with Journeyman. Death by Mage, actually, Death, we're getting into some Fey shenanigans possibly. Death by Mage made a Feywild book on DM Guild that is dealing with the Feywild and how you interact with Fey. So I hope you all appreciate it. To catch you all up, we're going on a rescue mission for a bunch of miners that have presumably been sealed in a mine by an avalanche in the mountains. We have Swedish accented dwarves, and we have our party full of hijinks and wonder. Death by Mage, I hear Fey fun times. Oh boy, yeah. They met 6 pixies that were hanging out in a hot springs, and the pixies kind of examined them, may or may not have taken a shining or a liking or a hating to them, and things are now afoot.
They
Yes.
didn't like Mordecai.
Yeah, well, yes, Mordecai specifically, one of them bullied Mordecai, but in fairness, Mordecai didn't tell them please no bully.
That is true.
Zulurpai, yeah, go ahead and post a link to Death by Mage's module, whom Journeyman did the cover art for, by the way. So that is good times. Thank you, Zulurpai. Yeah, take a look at Journey into the Feywild. And that's J-Man's work there. So there's plenty for you to examine should you delve into Death by Mage's content here.
Yes.
That is a fantastic illustration, if I might add.
Yes, it is.
J-Man's work is so
yeah.
great. I recommend
Yeah.
anyone who isn't following him right now to go do it.
Oh, you all also missed me yodeling.
Yeah, no,
we-
it is clipped. If you want to go watch Matt Yodel.
Yeah, that's true. I think Darkwolf clipped my yodel. There will be an upcoming feature, or hang on, Death by Mage says there will be an upcoming update featuring 20 pages of new material, including how to implement Eastern folklore into your Fey games. You missed yodeling? Yes, Death by Mage. Is there going to be a VOD? Yeah, the whole session.
Yes.
The whole session will appear as a solid VOD, and it's broken up into two parts. Actually, lethality. Do you have to leave at 3 a.m. again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So it'll be broken up into two parts to be posted on YouTube later. But Darkwolf, if you go into the clip section, clipped my yodeling, because just like my players, I am also at the mercy of fickle gods. And DJ Delta, in all fairness, I told him please no bully, or I did not tell him please no bully. And so DJ Delta was a big fat meanie face and made me yodel. Yes. I'm mature. All right, so for all of you who came over with J-Man, thank you. Sit back and enjoy the show, as we are going to be getting the players to this cave, or this cave-in, or this avalanche, or whatever's happened, and see if we can rescue the miners inside.
Whilst they are traveling up the mountains, Celine is having PTSD-style flashbacks to back when she was working as a triage nurse.
Death by Mage spilled 200 bits all over? Oh, Death, come on, you're clumsy here. So that being said, Death by Mage, you are now a fickle god, and you can give some kind of slight, some kind of boon or bane to myself or the players. You can, is there hard and fast rules? Not necessarily. Do you want one of them to, I don't know, trip over a magic item? Do you want to give disadvantage to me or one of them? Do you want to... Yeah, you can influence either the PCs, or the NPCs, or me as a DM. You want to give a bane to the players. Death by Mage, what kind of a bane would you do? And if you want to whisper it to me through Twitch, you can, or you can make a big old public announcement about what you want to do with the meat puppets at the end of your strings. Does that link work? I don't know. Let's... Yeah, it seems to.
If that one doesn't work, that one should.
There it goes.
Boy, this is a really throaty sound, too. Because you have to strain your voice. Bueno. I was channeling a little Michael Jackson there, too, it sounds like. Okay, so yeah, Death by Mage either through Twitch, or if you join our Discord and you want to send a private message there, or if you just want to shout out what you want to have happen to the players that you feel is worth 200 bits worth of Bane, you can do so. But
or burn. We'll also accept burn.
yeah, hey, look, the Bane thing that was so last whatever. We're in the boon mode now.
Yeah.
Well, then at least let me continue trudging you towards the mine before we find out what is going to happen. That way, there's there's at least some more progress and an advancement before something possibly bad happens. So you are Lycup is kind of giving you like she's keeping up. I know the rest of you are moving faster, but she's able to kind of go at a good jog. We have the whole. I mean, she's Luke Skywalker, and we have Bright as Yoda here in her backpack. As you're making your way up, and it is you have to be careful. Being up so high can make your breath come short. As a further caution to you all. As well, I don't know if any of you have perhaps a touch of dwarven blood in you. Although, Bright, I know that perhaps some of your people have a heartier constitution. I'm not saying that in meta, but in actual, like, as in health. Or I know that we have cousins among the halflings. If you have some kind of preventatives that could help with the poisons in the mine.
What actually would poison us? What?
Oh, the things that you can't see, various bad airs, there could be some kind of growths, if you're allergic to the mold or the mushrooms. Sometimes there's also bugs, like the bitey kinds, like the spiders. All kinds of poisons in the mine. Plus, we use different kind of acids and explosives that can make the air bad.
Sounds like a rough mining operation to me.
It is a tough life, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not that kind of gnome. We still live underground, but we don't really do a lot of digging. It's not our way.
I understand. We'll do our best, and if I'm getting tingles in my belly, it will show that there is poison in the air. I will be your canary.
Fair enough.
It is cruel. I don't know if you all get the joke, but we do use animals to test the quality of the air in the mines.
It happens sometimes.
Gotta use what you got.
This is going to be a very, very interesting experience, considering, things dying by poisons is... I am not mean to animals in that I would poison them myself. That being said...
You won't turn down an opportunity to watch an animal, succumb to poison.
Yep.
You should not have eaten the chicks.
Yep. Ooh.
Uh-oh. The animals are going back to take revenge.
Jade's own belly is kind of like, she as regret is filling her tummy.
delicious regret.
All right, so you're trudging your way up. The miner, the miner's telling you, oh, it's just around this corner. Well, when you're kind of going on a slightly circular path around a mountain base, everything is just around a freaking corner. But he is at least trying to stay optimistic. He is panicked. Oh, hang on, let me catch up on chat here. Yeah. And so you're coming up to an area where, yes, there's a lot of fresh snow and tumbled rocks, and it does look like there has been a group here that's been working at it for some time. And so you all arrive on the scene, and the miner says, let me go see what's happening. I'm gonna go check in with the leader of the operation. You all stand by, and we'll let you know. What's needed.
All right.
And at this kind of camp, this excavation, this emergency situation, there are crates that are around that maybe not specifically for this avalanche, but for in case of emergency or something along those lines. You're finding that there are wooden crates that have shovels, picks, rope, and some other items that you might expect to find that would be common to miners to either do their jobs or to help in an emergency situation. You're also finding there is a big stack of what we would describe as like railroad ties, like big thick hunks of wood, and so Lycup is looking around while your guide has run off to talk to the others. If you need the things, then perhaps you can take them here if you're going to be joining in. Take what you like, but make sure that you use what you take. Extra room may not be a good thing to either have your weight be high or to swing around the big things in a narrow mine shaft. Now, what this is going to open you all up to do, if you want to regard the equipment section, or if you just have an idea, your characters can take a couple items that you think might be useful to go down into the mines. There's some hanging lamps and some oil. There's some chains and picks and shovels. There's 10-foot poles. Or if you're creative, there might be 2 5-foot poles. There's, I don't know, if you have a question on does something exist or not in this mine preparedness station, you can certainly ask, and we'll see if it's there. But this is a chance for you to get some equipment to bring to help out or to otherwise assist with what you're doing.
I can't carry very much because I'm really weak, and even though I left most of my stuff back at the inn, I still can only carry about 10 pounds worth of stuff. So I don't know how much use I'll be, but I do cast mage armor. That's unrelated.
It's just like I can't really carry much stuff, so I'm just gonna cast mage armor.
I already have some torches, so that we don't necessarily need anything to do with light. But I probably would want something like climbing gear, and maybe something to resist poison.
Yeah, some climbing gear is probably a good idea. I've got some rope, and I've got some stuff like with a backpack and a bedroll with some mess kit, tinderbox, some torches, hemp and rope.
Jade is currently fighting with a serpent, or what you end up perceiving as a near 50-foot hemp rope. She starts to grab by the back of the head and starts to force to coil it on itself, eventually getting into sit still. She slings it over her shoulder along with the other one, giving her the amount, and she checks to make sure, pulls out a large nail, double checks it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real. Proceeds to look about and she's looking at for lamps, oil lamp would work.
Yep.
Some more oil. Well, there's always a need for oil and rope. Nooses are handy.
That they are. Celine
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
is probably going to grab some. I imagine there's probably a climber's kit there.
Effectively, they may not have the backpacks, or it may not be assembled in sort of like a bug out bag where you just grab it and it's ready to go. But the elements in a like a Dungeoneer's pack, or a climber's kit would be there. The
Yeah,
Dungeoneer's
there's a-
pack, crowbar, hammer, pythons, torches, tinderbox. There are some extra rations, a water skin, and there is
the
hemp
climber's
and
kit
rope.
is a specific item, which is like just like crampons and
Oh,
It's
oh
got,
yeah, yeah.
it's-
Let's see, includes
it's got,
So-
special pythons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. Um, okay, I'll say that there is. Everyone's digging at this point in time, so they probably haven't taken anything like a climber's kit, at least for the rescuers. So I will say that there are 4 climbers kits that are available in this ready station.
we'll grab one of those, and if there's any vials of antitoxin around, I might grab one of those too and drink it.
There are not. There are not vials of antitoxin.
Okay.
At least not in this, because what you're finding here is hardware. Like, you're not finding medicines, you're not finding delicate glass vials or anything. This is all just like,
Okay.
rough and ready equipment.
I'll take
Okay.
a shovel then.
Shovels are here. Yeah, you can take a shovel.
I'll take a pickaxe as well.
Sure.
Mine is pick.
All right, you grab a miner's pick. If it comes to wielding it as a weapon, I know that you as a death cleric get martial training, so you could probably just treat that as there's a war pick. It's
War
1d8
pick.
piercing.
War pick, yeah.
So yeah, you can wield that as a war pick. So I don't know, maybe it might deal 1d6 because it's a little bit like heavier and blunter. It's not made for elaborate swinging, but if you need to, you can use proficiency. It'll just be a d6 piercing weapon instead of a d8.
Alright, so make it more like a, where's the d6? More like a... Oh, where is it? Oh, like a hand axe, except it does piercing damage rather than...
Yeah, that... Well, you probably can't throw the pick too well.
oh, yeah, no. Mine is the throw bit. but
So,
I mean,
so
and I
how,
like
how
it.
how about a short sword? That's a d6 piercing. But obviously this is a pick. It'd probably be sturdier to use. We'll use Minecraft physics, such as it exists, where yeah, you can use a sword to break blocks, but your sword's gonna break sooner because it's not meant for it. So
Yeah.
you're getting the damage equivalent of a short sword, d6 piercing plus strength. But it is meant to pierce and break rocks and to like fit into tiny places and to hold at least as best as it can. All right, but anyway, so yeah, you grab a miner's pick that we'll treat as a. Okay, so you have that. Any other equipment that you all want to add to your sheets?
I checked my weight limits, and based on the stuff that I would have left behind at the inn, I can carry 17 pounds. So I'm going to take a 12-pound climber's kit and a 5-pound shovel.
Okay. How... all right, so the backpacks are definitely going to be made for medium-sized creatures, and the shovel is the same. Can you describe how bright... Not that the backpacks couldn't be adjusted, but for you, like, you have, like, on a big backpack and you have this shovel. Can you describe how bright is looking and strapping and carrying this stuff?
So the climber's kit, I think, would fit in my regular pack, and my mage hand is going to carry the shovel for me. It's just going to carry it floating right along behind me.
Sure. Okay. So you all have a floating shovel beside Bright, and she has her backpack is stuffed with things, with climbing things. All right. Are you equipped, or Mordecai? Do you need to grab something else, or?
I've got torches. I just picked up a shovel. Probably take a length of rope.
Sure.
Too, if we can.
They have plenty of rope and chain alike, hempen rope specifically.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and take some hemp rope.
Would be nice if we can.
Grappling hooks.
It's not part
Um,
of the climber's kit.
Oh yeah, it's part of the climber's kit. I was thinking of they would also have things like block and tackle, or no, wait, that's fishing. Pulley.
Use that as
No, block and tackle. I set a police with a cable.
Okay, yeah.
Through them.
Yeah, okay.
I think you were thinking hook and tackle.
That might have been, yeah. But yeah, so they would have a couple. They'd have a couple. Some block and tackle, some pulleys that you could take if you wished, with a hook of some kind, as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
I think a block and tackle is probably a good idea. As since two of your party members have strength 8.
Including myself. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. So, otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I've grabbed climber's kit and grappling hook, and
Okay.
that'll be it.
Just
Because I can't
double-checking
carry
the
any more
math.
than that.
But I believe I can carry up to one additional hemp rope, 1 climber's kit, 2 bits of oil, and 1 lamp. I'm just double checking the map on that, or math on that. And looks like I'm
So,
good.
so how are we calculating carrying capacity? Is that 10 times your strength score?
15.
It's 15.
15. Okay.
And push, carry, and lift is
that's
double
not what
that.
we were doing. Right, so that's why I've been super conservative about my carrying capacity all the time.
Well, it's because variant encumbrance, it slows you down. Like, if you carry up to 5 times, it slows you down by 10 feet. And if you carry up to 10 times your strength strength score, it slows your speed by 15 feet and gives you disadvantage on dexterity saves.
Are we
But,
playing with those rules?
15 times strength score is maximum carrying capacity before you're just full on immobilized.
Well, so the carrying capacity of 15 times hang on, let me get to it in the Pahubba here.
Well, your character sheet actually automatically calculates it for you.
Oh.
If you actually go over, it'll actually give you a warning you are encumbered.
Really? Oh, I did not know that. But then again,
Yeah,
I'm
give it a
I'm not
try.
an old pro at Roll20.
Oh, that's quite alright. Figured I'd just point that out, but if you want to test it, go ahead and make it sure you're carrying 20 hemp rope and watch on how fast that shows you over encumbered.
So let's see, lifting and carrying. Your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. This is the weight in pounds you can carry, which is high enough that most characters don't usually have to worry about it. Hey, Bright is exceedingly on the outskirts of that, I guess. Push, drag, or lift. You can push, drag, or lift a weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity, or 30 times your strength score. While pushing or dragging weight in excess of your carrying capacity, your speed drops by 5. Size and strength. Larger creatures can bear more weight, whereas tiny creatures can carry less. For each size category above medium, I'm not going to worry about that, nor for tiny creatures. And then, yeah, there's a variant encumbrance. The rules for lifting and carrying are intentionally simple. Here's a variant if you're looking for more detailed rules for determining how a character is hindered. You carry weight in excess of 5 times your strength, you're encumbered. So my automatic presumption was we were doing the 15 times your strength. However, at this point in time, this is good to bring up because there are options in D&D. Would you like to play with encumbrance, or do you want to play with just you get 15 times strength and it's sort of an all or nothing, like it's off or on, like a binary decision?
Fixed carrying capacity is better, mainly because the kits that you start with, like the Dungeoneers packs and everything like that, are not designed for variant encumbrance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought we've been using the variant all along, because I thought, when we talked about that in session 0, I thought...
And I thought that we were using that too, but I mean...
I'm pretty sure we talked about it and decided to use it. So I've been playing all along, with...
having to keep gear back and everything like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry if I don't remember if we said that we were using encumbrance at our session 0. That's
So
I
if we want to stop using it, that's certainly more convenient because I mean I kind of enjoy like not being able to carry anything. It's kind of
yeah.
kind
I've
of
never played with
entertaining
it because it's just an extra rule you have to remember.
Yeah. So I reckon just use fixed carrying capacity and call it there.
That's all.
Everyone in agreement?
I'm agree.
As a table decision, is everyone in agreement there? Matty, are you alright with that?
Oh, I'm fine with either. I think either works. I don't feel offended or like, darn it, you got the loophole and now my entire plan and campaign is ruined. Ruined.
Yeah. Ruined, I say. But no, I think that works. So we'll leave it as a point. Campaign 1, Session 7.
Sure.
Where we're going to be using fixed carrying capacity, which is 15 times strength score.
By unanimous committee agreement, I hereby declare that we use the standard lifting and carrying as found on page, etc., and so forth, and so on. And Pouty Lip shows up with a contract, just right here, and 15 and strength, of course, obviously strength. I'd have it no other way. And you sign the contract, and Pouty Lips, poof, puffs, and like some sort of crossroads demon, and be it by universal decree, I declare that we're using 15 times strength for your carrying capacity.
Perfect.
Okay. Did you know that gnomes can easily lift 3 times their own weight? They have the proportional strength of ants.
Yeah, suddenly suddenly Bright has just found this reserve of strength that she never knew she had. All this adventuring has built up your muscle. You know, you've been walking a lot, you've been trudging, and all right. So you, if you want to snag anything else with your second wind here, Bright, you're welcome to do so.
Then I'm going to carry a grappling hook, which I can hang from the back of my backpack. And
Sure.
I don't know. I already put away the equipment page because I thought I was done shopping. What can I bring that's really heavy?
Yeah.
I could bring a portable battering ram,
Yeah.
or a large tent.
If you
a chest or a barrel, I could carry a barrel.
they would
And
have
it's full of ale.
they would have a chest, a barrel. If you want a portable battering ram, they would have one available because things happen, and you also got to get new mining supports back into place, so you got to be able to thump them.
That's true. I don't think we're gonna need that for this though.
So
I don't think. We'll need
So,
that.
yeah. Well, what I would suggest is on like we could on the way we could have stopped by somewhere and picked up, because you know how they do snow rescues and stuff, how they have the dogs with the brandy to warm people up.
That's a myth, but yes.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah, it is a myth, but you know, like basically someone carrying a little bit of warming alcohol to.
I have some.
Oh, you have
If
some.
Mordecai has it, yeah, because from what I understand, you guys didn't go to the marketplace or anything, so that wouldn't be available in the in this equipment station for the rescue operation. But it sounds like Mordecai's got you.
Yeah, we got. All right, Mordecai, you got us covered. Well, we can do that because I mean, if we're finding people trapped under the snow and the ice and the rock and stuff, they're probably going to be freezing cold. So having something to warm them up a little bit to move them out is probably going to be an idea.
Yeah, that's true.
So, in addition to the other stuff that I said I was taking,
Yes.
I'm also bringing a crowbar and a grappling hook and a rope and a block and tackle.
Okay. Are you naming your crowbar?
It's just a crowbar.
Okay.
It's not magical and it's not a lie, so it doesn't get a name.
I just imagine Bright looking, a crowbar. It's just a crowbar. Just throw it in your backpack. All right. Well, then you all are equipping yourselves, and the miner comes back to you all. and says it seems like there's just a little bit more. We're almost dug through the pile of snow to the mine entrance, at least so far as we've been able to reckon where it is. If you're ready, come along. We need every back and arm and leg and everything possible to get these people out.
We got this.
Okay, so you go over and you are having to each perform some manual labor. There is some snow that is around that you're digging, and it's not just snow either. There's a lot of gravel and rocks, and there's even a boulder that's it's going to have to get pushed out of the way and slightly and down the edge of the mountain. Who's Celine? You're strong, aren't you?
No.
Oh, snap. Who's our strongest in the party besides Taz, who's not here?
Mordecai.
Mordecai?
It's literally Mordecai.
My strength is 8. My dexterity is high.
I think that makes Jade literally the most physically imposing person here.
What's Jade's strength?
9.
This is why we got the block and tackle, so that we can
yeah.
pull in some things
All of us
to
have no
lift heavy
strength.
shit.
That's okay.
Very well then. I will do the heavy lifting. It must be, that's what he would have done, so that's what
But
We
I
brought-
do
We brought
have an
Micah
idea.
with us, so she's probably pretty strong. She could carry me. Of course,
So
I could also carry me now that I've learned.
So I have an idea of how to deal with the snow, though. Is because I am a fire eater by trade, would you allow me to use some kind of oil and my tinderbox to create some kind of fire breath to melt it?
I'm not opposed to it, though. Performance fire breathing may not be as efficient with oil you might use otherwise in order to melt snow.
I have alcohol as well.
Well, having you're in a big cold open area and there's a lot of snow. I'm not saying that you can't, but fire breathing snow is going to be not. I don't think it'll be as efficient as perhaps even Mordecai, bless his heart, would like it to be.
Okay. Figured I'd ask.
Does Mordecai know any fire-based spells?
No, because sadly, at first couple level bard, you don't get much in the way of attack spells.
No, I mean aside Thunderwave.
No.
You can mock the snow.
I could viciously mock it, yeah.
Very viciously mocked.
Actually, I don't have vicious mockery either, so.
Oh, snap. You're that bard. I can appreciate
I'm
that.
bard.
I can appreciate that. All right. So in your own ways, you help Jade, then apparently being the burliest among everyone who is currently here as far as PCs go. They wish to employ your burl, and you are asked to help shove a boulder, like this ensconced boulder, out of the way. So I want you to tell me, how would Jade... there are others around who might kind of heave and hoe, but with Jade as an influencer here, how would Jade want to heave or hoe a boulder? Presumably using your burl, but if you have other means, then you're welcome to use them.
I think you said we have some what are effectively rail ties, right?
Yeah, there are. So they're used for mining. Like the wooden frames in the mine tunnels to help support. They're like big square blocks of wood, or not. I mean, they're long. They're not just cubes.
He grabs 2 of them, drags one perpendicular to the boulder, grabs the other, wedges it under, and places one hand and just slowly lifts, which for a woman about her size, I believe, gives her about 1,000 pounds worth of lift, given depending on the length of the railroad tie being the lever.
Okay. Sure. Give me an athletics. You can give me a guidance before athletics too. That's fine. Woo! it's a good thing that you're using your noggin here. Otherwise, that could have been disastrous because you might have had it at disadvantage.
Crazy,
Otherwise,
not stupid.
Crazy, not stupid.
That's a 0.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, so this would have been. This was almost like a Wile E. Coyote sort of plot in order to catch the Roadrunner here, but fortunately, you're giving into the mechanics, you're giving into the methodology, you're giving into the everything has a place, and a gear has a tooth to find another tooth, and so you're dragging these railroad ties and you're establishing. You're setting this up, and I want you to make one more athletics now that you have this leverage contraption set up. I want you to give me another athletics at advantage as it's time to pry the boulder. Look at that, Jade the Swole. Okay.
She's super small.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tazray would be proud.
Heckin' yeah.
Okay, so you all see Jade, like she's a woman on a mission. She is grabbing these railroad ties. She's setting them up in order to act as a lever, or a lever, depending, whatever, tomato. And starts like and just slowly pries this boulder, and other people are pulling, there's ropes around it, and there's a rumble, and and the boulder rolls off to the side and kind of goes down the hill a bit until it wedges into another rock on the side of the mountain, and leaving Jade atop this large boulder indentation. Hashtag Swole Jade.
Jade the Swole.
The boulder's ready.
Oh my god. The boulder!
The boulder!
This course of events!
The Jade Boulder, brother!
You really want me to start cutting a promo? Because I will.
Jade unironically calling someone a jabroni.
Yeah. But the question is, are you good enough that you've earned pyrotechnics on your way out of the out of the backstage to the arena?
No, I earned pyrotechnics after the victory on the way back.
Ah.
Little Kane reference there for you who don't know.
No, I got it.
Yeah, and the fire jets, yeah. Alright, so hashtag Swole Jade is now trending in our chat. And so you have your moment. You're up top, and Jade, from up here, I will provide a prompt. You don't have to process it this way. Here you are, you're a portion of the way up a mountain, and you're above everyone right now. You're the highest person here. You're standing on the mountainside. You see the boulder, this large imposing figure that through your force of will and your cunning and your muscles, you've pried out the side of a mountain and sent toppling down. And as you look down below, because you're up here, you're like halfway up the mountain, and you look down, and everyone below you is, maybe this puts life into a different perspective than you've considered. I don't know. I'm throwing out prompts or questions or things for you to mull over. But everyone is ants. Everyone has a place. Everyone is doing something. The village down here is arranged in a particular pattern. You can see that it follows the course of the river, and of course, because they need water to live and to do all this other stuff. And here you are at this. It's not the summit, but you get this moment of pure fresh air. Heck, even the wind kind of blows your black locks back a little bit, so that your entire face is just like kissed by the cool, fresh mountain air. And so there's a prompt for you to handle however you'd like.
Jade she's looking at the entire village. She stops, and after processing this just for a bit, She looks back at the remains of the boulder, the blocks, and she pictures a man. This man in a suit of armor, a sword of some sort in his hand. He's unsheathed it just recently, feeling he's just conquered the world. She can't help but beam with pride as the Stillwater man ends up looking at his conquest. She sighs a bit. Oh, how she misses him. The fact is that this is not his path anymore, but she can be grateful. Knowing what's coming and not knowing at the same time, that's the truth of it. She smiles a bit, trying to not think of what is to come.
All right. I guess you would see Jade savoring a victory of some kind. Obviously, this was internal to her, but... hey, Pouty Lips. We are going to be going for another 15 minutes, and then we're going to wrap up because Lethality's going to have to go. So we're going to get you all inside here, and we'll introduce the scene.
Yes.
With this large boulder pried out of the way, and you all assisting and helping others. Oh, thank you for the 1 bit. Is this, I imagine this is Mr. Scott and not Mrs. Cott. But thank you very much for that, for the 1 bit and the cheer. With a little bit more digging, there's an audible sigh, like a bit of a depressurization, as the entrance to the mine is uncovered. And in fact, that even kind of blows away some of the, some of the snow and the rocks. And even a couple miners get injured because of this depressurization, almost kind of like some Inception kind of a sound that rushes out of the cave as it is unsealed. And so you all are here. If you want to volunteer to go in, you're welcome to do so, because now that it's been cleared and people are being tended, there's less people who can go into the mine. And so the foreman who's out here, I need volunteers. Who's willing to go into the mines? I don't want heroes. I want volunteers to go and get information.
Jade, with a bit of hesitation, slowly creeps forward.
Okay. You, ma'am. Oh, you're the one. Oh, you displaced that boulder. You're willing to step up?
It's what he would have done.
All right.
I'll step up as well.
Same.
If we're heroes, can we still go?
I don't know that we call us heroes.
A pat on your shoulder from Lycup. Yeah, little one, don't you worry. That is just standard procedure. You don't want to go and be a hero, even though you may be one. I too will go in the mine. And there are a couple more people who also step up. So in total, there's the 4 of you. There's Lycup, for 5, and 5 others say that we're willing to go in, and we have some gear. I mean, you already grabbed it, but the foreman tells them grab what you need. Just look inside. Don't go too deep. We'll be here, and you each are. You each have a rope that will be tied around your waist, and someone will be minding the rope. It'll be a longer one, so you can go in a ways, but you can start scouting, and in case something happens, if everything's okay, tug on the rope 97 times. If you need extraction, 98 times. No, I'm sorry.
I get the reference.
This is something was that 97, 98? I don't know. I think that was only 95. How many more times are they going to tug? No, so they set up a system, and you all are kind of fed to go. It's not a steep slope, but the way that everything kind of blew out of the of the mine entrance, you do have to kind of go down a scoop of ice and rock down into the entrance, and so you're kind of being lowered. You could slide down, I guess, if you really want to, or you could kind of rappel. However you wish to do it, that's fine. And the 10 of you with 10 other people who are holding your ropes. Honestly, there's probably more, because each of you, maybe with the exception of Bright, has probably 2 people minding you. And there is this. There's still some like air pressure, a wind, or something that is making this mine almost heave a sigh, or almost like the mountain is snoring, or something along those lines. You're just getting a reverberation.
It's a howling mine.
Yeah.
I draw 2
magic.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I draw 2 cards.
Very good. Oh, by the way, speaking of magic, real quick, promo, Lethality, you said that you can come on tomorrow and talk about Ravnica?
Yes, I can come on tomorrow and talk about Ravnica.
Okay. Then we'll do that at our normal 11 o'clock. I just wanted to confirm everything was okay. All right.
Hit me up when Innistrad becomes a thing.
I mean, there is Plane Shift Innistrad, but that was written by the MTG team, not the D&D team.
I mean, Curse of Strahd is kind of an Innistrad setting, Barovia and all that. But here,
Plane Shift.
Let me get you into the mine here. We'll finish our business before. We got to get this dumb stuff out of the way before we can relax and have fun together. Come on.
We gotta have fun before we can have fun.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
Fun.
so you all are lowered in, and as you're making your way in, it does seem that some weights have shifted and whatnot. As you're examining, a couple of these mine support shafts have shattered, or at least are showing signs of cracking. Now, some of them look old, and they've probably been that way for a while, and no one's just replaced them because it's been like this for 10 years. What's another 10? But you are seeing what looks like some fresh splinters on the floor, and as you're going in, there's almost there's like a rush of wind or something that's something is getting closer, and like a and rounding the corner ahead of you looks like some kind of a sparkling fog bank that is just rushing through the tunnel. And how would any of you like to react to this this rushing, sparkling fog cloud?
This is probably going to be something horrible. I would.
What a pessimist!
We know there was things involving pixies earlier, and the kind of phase shenanigans that it's going on, it doesn't sit well with Celine.
Okay.
Nice deep breath.
No, I'm probably more likely to hold my breath.
Okay. Mordecai?
Kind of along the same lines as Celine. Kind of, the fey creatures were definitely not taking a liking to him, so he's definitely going to have his hands on both his short swords.
Okay.
Just ready to unsheath them as soon as something comes and is lethal.
Jade, you have a glittery fog cloud rushing up to meet you. What are you doing?
Jade removes her mask quickly from inside the one that she must wear as a mask. That cloth bandana that she quickly places over her mouth as though a filter.
Okay. The other miners are like they're scrambling. A couple of them are trying to get back up that curved tunnel to get to the entrance. They're scrabbling, and the cloud whoosh, is going past you. Pink, or not your hair's pink, but bright. I mean, in another circumstance, this might be fantastic. You have a glittery wind, tossing your hair and making it absolutely fabulous. Yeah, exactly. Your 2 pigtails are flapping in the glittery breeze here. Even Jade's hair is sort of is partying and is glitter and sprinkles and everything is washing over you.
A Stevie Nicks video.
Celine, as a half elf, if I recall correctly, you have Fey ancestry, which means that you are immune to magical sleep. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, all of you, with the exception of Celine, who seemingly is avoiding all of my mechanics throughout the campaign, end up collapsing in unconsciousness. Although I guess Celine, it's a mixed blessing, or it's a blessing and a curse, because all your friends are like dying, turning, sleeping around you, and you get to watch it all happen while they get the they get the blissful unconsciousness and happy sleep.
There's no save for that.
Sir,
there is not.
I'm gonna tug on the rope.
Okay, you can start tugging as your friends collapse around you.
I'm gonna tug 98 times.
Guys, come on! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Please.
The people who were trying to scramble and come out were kind of like blown up and over the ridge, and then for a moment, Celine, everything just stops. And it's like you're in some winter wonderland, where all the snowflakes are these little glittery, shiny, glowy bits. There's this fog everywhere. And then they start moving again, but they move backwards. Slowly. And then in reverse, this fog cloud that blew out, even though it is gas, it's flowing around you, is now being sucked back in, and all of you are, well, except you, Celine, you're like ragdolling, being sucked further into the mine. And
but we're tied to ropes, right?
Yeah. Just tug on.
Yes.
You're tugging on the rope.
And so you're welcome to wonder what happened. That's a valid point, Bright. You're welcome to wonder what happened when you wake up. And what we'll do is we're going to leave on Celine. I mean, you're kind of like, you're a little razzle-dazzled here as you're sucked back into the mine, and everyone around you is going to begin stirring. Fortunately, they're not dead. Although they are going to have had some kind of a vision, a dream, a nightmare. I guess that's a matter of opinion, given, well, all your all's personalities or magical capabilities. And so when you all are going to wake up after... You remember seeing a cloud, and it was in the shape of a dragon. As much as your character knows what dragons look like, how you conceptualize them. The wind blows against the cloud as it's passing by. And as it does, the wind is... The cloud remains solid, but it almost looks like this dragon is flapping its wings. The wings are beating. It's otherwise a nice day, but the dark clouds form like they were around the mountain, like a storm coming. They form around this dragon cloud, and it begins raining, and there's lightning, and it grows hostile quickly. The dark clouds swallow this dragon cloud, and the last thing you remember before waking up in this mine, around probably a very concerned Celine, is a flash of lightning was coming streaking towards you with this incapacitating thunderclap following behind. So you like, everything just got bright for a minute as in slow motion you just see this lightning bolt coming straight down at you with some kind of almost a purpose, a vengeance, an agenda, something. And you wake up in... It's not thunderous, but you wake up in an echoey mine. And so here we will end our session. There are still some boons to be left over, and those will carry over into the next session, along with whatever anyone else brings along. So for you all who've made it here, thank you very much for playing again with me this week, and I hope you had fun. Lethality, just as usual, I know you got to pack up and go. Let us know when your group is streaming, and we'll make sure to give you guys a raid. So if you guys want to support Lethality Complex, he has he plays with a group of friends or family or both.
Friends, and of course my darling fiance.
Oh, okay. Then yes. So you have your group called Gathering of Nerds, and you broadcast your tabletop one shots. So we'll be happy to give you guys a raid. Just let me know when you're live, okay?
Yep, I'll let you know.
Lethality, just call them what they are, victims.
Oh no, I'm not DMing tonight. Last week I was the DM. However, the VOD can be found on the channel at twitch.tv/gatheringnerds, where it was the prompt of good, which I proceeded to very, very promptly subvert, flip on its head. No, none of the characters in the party were allowed to be good. None of them were allowed to be good. Instead, they all had to be neutral or evil, and they fought good things, i.e. angels.
I hear drinking the blood of an angel can offer eternal youth. I'll have to try that someday.
Yes, you can. And tonight we are continuing a one-shot that was being run by Adam with the prompt of fire, of which I am a player, and of which my darling fiance is also a player. So you guys can have a bit of fun looking at that a bit later once we get live.
Yeah.
The last thing I'd bring up is, honestly, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, because it's not very often that I get to show my breadth of knowledge on Ravnik and lore. Because, honestly, Guildmaster's Guide is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Just a quick thing, Matty. What are you thinking of in terms of creation for tomorrow? Are you thinking like a dungeon, or are you thinking more NPCs and whatnot?
Okay, so last week we made a very interesting group of PCs. It was a duo of kind of anti-heroes, right? They were superheroes, but they were kind of selfish and evil. And of course, neither of them got their way because they each had really cool superhero names they wanted to be called, but no one in the neighborhood called them that as they ran their protection racket. And so what I want to do is I want to create a neighborhood within Ravnica in which we can make kind of like a small campaign or, a glimpse in the life of. And so what I would like to do with you tomorrow is let's help craft a setting, and let's set up some NPCs. For example, do they have someone from the Boros Legion who is maybe plays like the straight man of kind of a comedy duo, where he's stern and he's like the Zenigata of Lupin, right? He's always chasing after him, can never seem to get him. Or is it like a Commissioner Gordon style where he may not like their tactics, but he realizes that these two ladies are actually doing good things for the neighborhood. And so, he might be lawful good or something, but he always, he gets lost in paperwork, quote unquote, enough to not catch them. But as long as they're not doing things like, overtly murdering people in the streets, he's fine if the garbage takes itself out, kind of a thing. But so yeah, I want to talk about the setting, and I think we can create some NPCs, which is something, by the way, it's not that hopefully through this campaign you discover that I do try and put NPCs in and that they have their fun quirks. NPCs, like, for sure, Derek is he talks about it, and he makes entire I mean, I'm just talking about making a couple that live in a city block in Ravnica, and Derek is like 100%. He has an entire like dynamic and network worked out, which I respect, and that's something that I haven't done on the channel really. Is you can argue the characters we make are NPCs because no one really plays them, but I would like to create actual NPCs. Maybe they're a little less three-dimensional, but are compelling or are still performing a function. And that way, when we make our campaign at the end of the week, we've made a campaign of not just story, plot elements, but we've made this block of Ravnica, we've made this neighborhood or whatever come alive, and we have some names of people, and we have a flair for the architecture, the socioeconomics, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
If I
so,
may interject here.
yeah,
Maddie, if you want, earlier on you end up saying that Curse of Strahd is pretty much Innistrad. One of the key differences
yes,
is that in Innistrad, not only the religion is different, like heavily different. The other part is that you got to remember that the vampiric condition isn't just a threat; it is a national superpower in there. Right?
Yeah.
It is
yeah.
vampiric politics with what's still alive, along with dealing with the werewolf threat while dealing with this giant purge from the angels, is fundamentally your core separations, and that is one of the big differences between it. And then Ravnica, that is doubly so.
With that, Derek, after I jump off stream and I get over to where I need to go, I will actually send you a copy of Planeshift Innistrad.
Already got it.
Oh, you already got it? Okay.
I already got it. I read through it. I'm not gonna lie, it's not as well versed for Innistrad as you might think. It's kind of one of those. It touches on a lot of the little things that you need to know, but doesn't really explain. For instance, there's no world map, right? You kind of need to figure out where all these different locations are, because that's kind of important for the huge conflicts that are happening, especially since, angels are slaughtering everything going. You kind of need to know where they're originating from to figure out where your core conflicts are.
Well, I mean,
I look forward to seeing what you guys do with Ravnica, because that one, oh god, the amount of detail you need to really run a living Ravnica city at all is amazing.
Yeah. Just as a point before I run off, your two PCs, Matty, they very much sound like they sound like Orzhov agents, honestly. Basically, we pay because the kind of the Orzhov syndicate are very much like they're basically like a mafia, but they're an undead mafia. Like, if you owe a debt to the Orzhov, death will not save you. They will take your soul as a ghost, and you will serve them until your debt is paid.
Yes.
Think Giovanni.
It's it's kind of like a life insurance policy that works differently. Like, they'll pay you up front while you're alive, but then you got to work it off on the back end.
Yeah. Like, for example, so if like your two anti-heroes are like that, then I can think of a couple of major NPCs that would play a part in the kind of setting that you'd be creating. They would definitely run a lot into the guilds that have black in them. So Orzhov especially, but also House Demir and even the Cult of Rakdos as well. And maybe even the Golgari Swarm if they go into that particular area. And then, of course, you'd also be dealing with the very law-abiding guilds such as the militaristic Boris Legion or the lawmakers in the Azorius Senate. But that's something that we can talk about tomorrow. On stream.
For the Wednesday session, I really, as much time as you have, I don't want to. I'm not going to try and shoehorn it into. Look, we only have an hour. I want to develop the setting, and then the remainder days we can work on aspects of it. But I want a good foundation. But yeah, anyway, hey, get going, Scamper, get out of here.
Yep.
Go, shoot.
Yep. I will let you guys know when I go live, and for those who don't come over to watch the game and do decide to tune in tomorrow, I will see you all tomorrow.
If either of you two, I mean, if you got to go to bed or whatnot, that's fine. Or if you want to talk about the game, decompress, or do what you'd like, we're going to be up for about my channel will be running for about another hour until Lethality gets over to his friend's place.